Every filmmaker has this one tool, that one piece of equipment that does not just capture the world but capture how they see it. There's a question every filmmaker asks themselves at some point. Does equipment actually matters? I used to think no, until I found the right one and everything changed. This is not a typical camera review. This is the truth. 33 megapixel full frame sensor which shoots up to 4K 60 fps at 10-bit colors. Eye tracking autofocus that almost never miss, and perfectly designed body that fits comfortably in my hands. It has become an extension of my body at a point where I can even change my camera setting without even looking at the screen and nail the perfect shot. Always. That's when you realize the right equipment can push past your limits. And as a visual artist, we need a companion that can push our limits to our fullest. And I think I found mine.
Yep, in my white tee. Yeah, call up Pipe Williams for the hype, please. They gon' wipe you before you wipe me. Boxes of checks, not my Nike.
For few people, this is just a hybrid camera on a budget. But what I feel, this camera is more than that. I've been using this camera for more than 4 years now. I have shot countless videos for social media and clients, and this camera never disappoints. The way this camera handles color is pretty amazing. Back in time, Sony used to get criticized a lot for their colors, but after Sony A7 III, it was changed. And when Mark IV came out, it adapted the same new color science, which was much better. And honestly, this was the reason I fell in love with this camera. The color just felt right. And not only that, but the quality of the image that this camera produces is next level. Because this camera has 33 megapixel sensor with native 7K resolution, which is downsampled to 4K full frame, which gives us images that just looks amazing. When this camera came out, people quickly started talking about how much this camera heats. And that's true. But I feel people want a perfect camera who can do everything. Instead of looking whether the camera is perfect or not, you should be looking at your use case. And if the camera can give you what you need and fit comfortably in your workflow, then consider it as a perfect camera for you. Because there is no perfect camera. But you might be perfect for the camera. Because your camera is your companion and you have to choose the companion carefully. And your companion should not limit you in any situation. Talking about limitation, yes, this camera has some limitation, which are very annoying. Like it crops when you shoot 4K 60. Also, if you shoot 120 fps, there is no 10-bit colors. And honestly, these two things are the only complaint I have with this camera. But this was not even my concern back then when I bought it. It all started with this A6000, but after making some videos, I realized I needed to upgrade this camera. So in 2022, I bought my first full frame camera. When I bought this camera, I was not good at filmmaking. To be honest, this camera had more than what I needed. Back in 2022, this camera felt limitless. So I shot everything. Got out of my comfort zone. I have shot in pouring rain, used it in very tough conditions, attached it at weird places, and still, this camera survived all of it. And I never felt this camera was limiting me. As a filmmaker, we need tools that can go through all of this and make it feel easier along the way. And for me, in this past 4 years, this camera had made my creative process easier. That's why when someone asks me what camera I should buy, my first answer is always go for A7 IV. Now after using it for more than 4 years, I can say this camera had played very important role in my filmmaking journey. I can even say this camera made me a better filmmaker. So next time if someone asks me, does gear matters? My answer would be yes, right gears matter. So if you're confused that what camera you should buy and what should be your budget, before all of this, you should ask yourself these two questions. What exactly do you need? What kind of workflow you have? And then look for a camera which fits better in your workflow. For me, the A7 IV has been a perfect companion in my journey. Yes, I've grown as a filmmaker by using this camera, and sometimes this camera also feels outdated because slowly this camera is also limiting me, and it feels the right time to upgrade. But still, this camera has more fight left in it. So until then,
Boss, you got the case?
yep, I got the case. You did a good job in this one.
Boss, I think it's time for the big one.
Yeah, I think it's time. It's time for the big one.
Yes, sir. Now we are talking.
Let's start the project.